Welcome, everybody, to the Grueling Truths College Basketball Preview Show. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster. Tonight, we're going to look at one of the games of the week. The Purdue Boilermakers, who lead the Big Ten standings right now, will battle the Michigan Wolverines, who are nipping at their heels with Michigan State. This is a huge game for whoever's going to win the Big Ten regular season conference championship. And do you think Michigan might be a little upset about how the game versus Purdue went in West Lafayette? I'd imagine they are. That game was a wrap before the second media timeout. So Michigan will have an extra ounce of anger heading into this revenge spot in Ann Arbor. Michigan is now 10-2 in Big Ten play. This game will be pivotal in his quest to win a Big Ten championship in the first year under head coach Dusty May. The path is very much alive for that too. But the road gets tougher if the Wolverines lose to Purdue again. The key to this handicap is pretty simple. Michigan could be doomed if it isn't more careful with the ball. The Wolverines have a robust 20% turnover rate, which is 332nd in the nation. And they give the ball away they gave the ball away 22 times in the first meeting. Now, the Wolverines could counteract Purdue's dominant defense by feeding the ball to their bigs, Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf. Danny Wolf was absolutely amazing against the Indiana Hoosiers on Saturday. Now, I know Dusty May loves the big pick and roll, but Purdue contained it better than any other Big Ten squad in the second meeting. Can they do it again? You know, the play should be dumping the ball to Golden, who could dominate versus Purdue's porous interior defense. You know, that wasn't possible in the first meeting in Mackey Arena. You know, the crowd flustered Michigan, and the lead ballooned so quickly that it began to settle for bad threes, for lack of a better term. I mean, they lost their heads in that game. Purdue was the more experienced team. They were at home, and they took care of business. Now, shooting is another big key for the home team. Michigan is a very modern on offense, as most of its shots come from deep or at the rim. It's one of the two. The Wolverines attempt threes at a 44% clip and connect on 36, which is 67th, I believe, nationally. They're even better from two-point range, hitting on 59%, which is fifth nationally. Now, establishing the paint to open up the rest of the floor will make a huge difference for the Wolverines tonight. It's a different era for Purdue with Zach Edey out of the fold, but one thing remains true. Purdue is arguably the best team in the Big Ten. The Boilermakers' defense is more aggressive and more athletic, but it isn't nearly as good at defending the inside. It's a real give and take without the Edey drop coverage. They went from a 13% turnover rate last year, a top 20 mark, to a 19% turnover rate this year. While Braden Smith is the best point guard in America and Trey Kaufman-Renn is a top-tier Big Ten player, it's worrisome that Purdue relies so much on just three players. The cupboard here, the cupboard is pretty bare beyond Smith, TKR, and Fletcher Lawyer. They combine for nearly 50 points per game, which is over half this team's points. Smith is a special talent with these 16 points, almost 9 assists per night, but Michigan has to contain him in pick and rolls. Nobody else on Purdue's roster averages above 6.3 points. So if the big three don't go off, it's doomsday unless the defense goes crazy for Purdue. I love the schematic matchup if Michigan turns the ball over 14 or fewer times. That feels like a magic number here to me. Less than 14 or fewer turnovers, I think Michigan wins the game. I don't foresee TKR and Caleb First being the answer to contain Golden and Wolf. Give me the home team here. I know they're favored. I know they just got beat by 27 points by Purdue, but I like to hold the home team. I think Golden and Wolf at home are going to make a huge difference. And in the Big Ten, we know home court advantage is a thing, and it's a big thing. And Purdue, they've lost a few games this year. This is not Purdue with Zach Edey. This is Purdue with three really good players and a really good basketball coach. Michigan has a really good basketball coach, but I think they have the deeper team. And I think Golden and Wolf are going to be too much for Purdue to overcome tonight. Plus, you got the revenge factor. Nobody likes to get embarrassed. And when you're playing like 2 weeks after that embarrassment, if you're a good basketball team, you're going to step up. I think the Michigan Wolverines step up tonight. I think they cover to 1.5 points. I think they're going to beat Purdue, and the Big Ten is going to be a three-team horse race. You got to expect Michigan State to win tonight. Michigan wins, and then all of a sudden, we've got Purdue a half game behind Michigan State and Michigan. This makes for a great finish to the Big Ten Conference season. But tonight, take the Michigan Wolverines -1.5 points. All right, guys, make sure you follow me on X at Grueling Truth. Make sure you check out BetMGM for the top sports book for betting on college basketball. You can click on the link in the description down below if you're watching on YouTube. And make sure you follow me on X at Grueling Truth. For now, guys, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.